I went to Sheffer School until grade 7, and it didn't have an 8th grade, so all the kids had to go to Jackson School, which is a bit farther away for 8th grade. And when I got there, of course, the first thing I did was look over all the boys to see who was cuter and who was good, and I settled on this one guy that I thought was really cute. But he had a girlfriend. Seemed to be that he was going with this Rosie Marino, who was a short little Italian girl. So but I still secretly had kind of a crush on him. Well, in Minnesota, if you don't ice skate, you don't exist through winter. You got to do ice skating, and a lot of the playgrounds, the schools flooded the rink for the kids. So if you didn't skate on lakes and places, you skated on the skating rink at the school place, and they had a warming house, and they also had other games you could play inside for the kids, and a guy who watched. It was fun. Well, I went with my friend Joyce Ekman. It wasn't that far from our house, and we were skating, and her stupid feet were always cold. So she was inside the warming house, sitting there, getting her feet warm, and I was skating by myself around and around and around, and all of a sudden this big mittened hand came up and grabbed my hand. And it was him. It was that cute kid. I never even knew he knew I was alive. And he held my hand, and we skated around and around, and my heart was, Well, then he walked me home, and his friend Rodney Nelson walked Joyce Ekman home, and Ken walked me home. Well, my house was first, so Rodney and Joyce continued, and I'm walking toward my sidewalk, and all of this, I'm going to go in the house, and soon his face was in front of mine, and he kissed me. Just like I couldn't go any farther, his lips were there. And I did, what do? I shut my eyes. They'd shut it in the movies. So I shut my eyes, and he kissed me, and then he left. And I went in the house, and I was just, my cousin Richard, my Aunt Esther, and Uncle Lloyd were visiting, and I ran to the phone. Joyce, guess what? Guess what? I was the first one to be kissed. And from then on, it seemed like we were an item. He would buy packages of gum and throw on my desk, and my friend Ida May said, I wish somebody would give me gum. And it was, we'd have to change schools for our homemaking, and the boys had shop classes. We went to another school still, but we had to walk in the winter. Everybody was throwing snowballs at the girls. And Ken, Dad, Grandpa would stand behind me and jump and stop the snowballs from hitting me, protect me. And then they all threw just to torment him. He's wearing his little skinny body out trying to keep the snowballs from hitting me. We went together and believed we were madly in love until that summer. And then my friends started to say, if you go to high school and you've already got a boyfriend, nobody's going to pay any attention to you. You'll never get asked on a date and blah, 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 blah. And, well, Ken's voice wasn't changed yet, and I was already kind of mature, I thought. So, poor guy gives me a birthday present, a lavender bead necklace and a bracelet to match. And then I broke up. I didn't. I felt a little guilty because he gave me the present. But that whole next year, we didn't even say hi when we were freshmen, not even hello. So at the end of the year, I wrote in his school book, you could at least say hi. So the following year, sophomore year, we said hi when we passed. Our junior year, he asked me to a football game. And I went. And then I went on to a movie with a guy I used to date, and he made me sick. And then I went to a party with another guy I thought I was madly in love with, a Richard Granelli, and that was over. And by that Christmas, I was at a party with this Richard Ernst, and Grandpa came with a girl named Susan something or another, and I thought, she's kind of tall. But so when we were gone upstairs to get our coats, his friend Jimmy Rebelke held mistletoe over my head. Grandpa happened to be there too. and he kissed me. And I remembered, hey, he is the neatest kisser. He was the best kisser I had been going with. It's not bad. So we started to kind of go together. And by January 4th, he asked me to go steady and said he loved me. And this was a Christmas party. So I said, you can't. It was so quick. He insisted he loved me. He gave me a ID bracelet with my name on and the date. And from then on, we went together steadily. I wore his ring with all this tape. And when that was uncomfortable, I wore it around my neck on a chain. We went to the prom dances. We went to dances every Tuesday and Friday and stop at the Bridgman's ice cream store and stuff our guts with ice cream. Once I had a turtle, they called it. It was vanilla ice cream with lots of chocolate or hot fudge and whipped cream and nuts and all. And I was almost done eating it and a bug flew in it. And they gave me another one. I was so full walking home. Luckily, we walked a lot. But we had a good time in high school. And he was candidate for homecoming king in the senior year. He graduated at the top of the class with honors. He won a 4-year scholarship. He was very smart. He isn't anymore. No, he's a very smart man. And then I ended up being snow day queen, and he was, they took a picture of us kissing and put it in the yearbook. We were always kissing. We kissed a lot. And I got a job at the railroad, and he went to college, and we had it all planned out. I shall work and save money for our house. He gets the career. We will be married. We wanted to get married when we were 19. No, too young. Wait, my parents. We wanted to get married later. Finally, we did. We got married when we were 20 and spring break. And we have been married 53 years almost.
54.
54? Oh!
It'll be 54.
It's going to be 54 years. We've been married all our lives. He was my first one to kiss me. He's the only guy I've ever been with. And that, I guess, is pretty rare. I've known no one else. And I think I still love him.